Hello, Leo. Welcome to the Divine Dojo. My name is Gabriela, and I am here to do your reading for April 28th through May 4th. So let's clear the energy with a little tuning fork action. I go around my house and I do this just to move stagnant energy in the air. And for anybody who's like giving me the evil eye, that's for you. All right, Leo, very excited for you because Mars entered your sign, which is a nice big push. Mars definitely likes being in Leo. It's not exalted, but it likes being in your sign because at least it's a fire sign and it's not in that watery sign of Cancer, at the bottom of the ocean. So this is, all sunshine and fire and let's go and, celebrity, meaning that you are a celebrity and you like to be seen and you like to strut your stuff. So great for Mars being in your sign. We're just coming off the high of that new moon in Taurus, which it was great also. Very powerful, probably one of the most powerful new moons that we're going to have this year. This week, Venus will ingress into Aries, more fire energy. So very excited about this. It's not its favorite spot for Venus, but it's also not the worst spot for Venus to be in. Doesn't love it, that's for sure, but this is definitely more for us to have creative inspiration, to more for our personal identity, get some oomph in there. Although you Leos don't need it, you know your identity and all of that stuff. So one thing to note this week on Sunday, Pluto will retrograde, and Pluto is in Aquarius. But Mars is coming out of shadow. So besides the Pluto retrograde, this whole week until Sunday, all planets are direct. So it's go, go, go time. And it's time to move forward and get out of that drudgy, stagnant energy that the whole collective has been in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some archetype cards as our catalyst, as of our opening card per se. And, we'll build on the story of that with some tarot. Beautiful, that jumped out. Anima Mundi. So this to me is similar to the World card, So a lot of chapters are ending. A lot of things are closing out, and there are plenty of new beginnings, especially for you guys in your career house. In the aspect of your career as well, that's changing a lot. So your career might look differently, or you might start to see signs this week of like the potential of something new, or how you're going to be differently in your career. So this is beautiful because it has all the elements. It has Pluto, it has parts of fortune, the moon, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Mars, all of the elements. And we're definitely in a lot of fixed sign energy. Sun is in Taurus, Mars is in Leo, Venus is going into Aries. We have Pluto, well, Venus in Aries is not fixed, but we have Pluto in Aries in retrograde. So a lot of fixed energies. And then on top of it, Scorpio in Lilith, or Lilith in Scorpio in the background, doing her thing over there, being the wild woman that she is. So fixed energy is good because fixed energy gets the ball fucking moving, but it also can be stuck, you know? So sometimes the fixed signs, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius, can get stuck in not wanting to change things up, you know, and don't necessarily love change. But believe it or not, the fixed signs are the ones who embrace change the most, in my experience. Yeah, we don't love it, but we'll fucking go through it. You know, we'll deal with it. We just deal with it, you know, one way or another. So I love that. I love this similar to like the World card for me. A combination of the World and Death, in my opinion. So that's just my belief. All right, so let's get into the tarot and see what kind of story we have building for this week for you. It's a great week to get stuff moving, to be creative, to put, you know, actionable steps for your goals. Take some actionable steps for your goals and dreams and, you know, get the ball moving. Too many cards, Spirit. Spirit, help me be clear and create a beautiful story for this week for our Leo collective. Now, remember, this is a general reading, so not everything is going to gel with everybody. But, I mean, we have the Magician, you know, now that this, a lot of chapters are ending and, you know, doors are closing and new doors are opening. What are we going to do? The Magician has all the elements. He has, you know, the cups, the wands, the swords, and the pentacles all in here. And also with the infinity, you know, this is just great time for creativity. We do have the 10 of Cups reversed, but you know, I don't mind seeing the 10 of Cups reversed because that to me still is, you know, it says, you know, it's like about shattered dreams, shattered reality, a broken family, domestic disharmony. But to me, it's like, you can change that, you know, if that's something that you've been going through during this whole stagnant energy, not necessarily like, you know, that detrimental. Maybe it's just, you know, your values are changing and you need to, and you've been struggling with some relationships. You know, how can you step into the energy differently with being the Magician and having, you know, the doors open to change, you know, the status of this, basically, to change the trajectory of whatever has been happening. And then we have, yeah, maybe, you know, with the four of Swords, you know, a lot of the collective has been feeling kind of exhausted, you know, and, you know, we've all needed to rest, and we've all have been like, we're tired and burnt out from all the chaos of the world, you know, and on top of it, you know, a lot of intense fixed energy that we have had to experience, but we've gotten through it. So I love that the first card was the Magician, you know, to show us like, hey, even though, you know, we've gone through it, we have all the tools that we need right here, right now. We don't need anything else to, you know, start to create a new story. And then we have a Scorpio card, the 5 of Cups, and it's just, you know, a card of like regrets and disappointment, maybe loss, maybe grief. You know, there's a lot of people, and I hate to talk about this, but there's a lot of people passing and or taking their lives. So, you know, we might be grieving relationships lost, relationships, you know, things that haven't moved forward, or we haven't been able to know how to move forward with this opening that we have this week. You know, the tides are changing. The story is shifting and unfolding and being created as we go. So what are you going to create in your new story? I'd like to clarify the 10 of Cups. I mean, all of these cards are reverse. So the Moon, so maybe some stuff has been hidden, you know, and now with the energy shifting, things will come to light. Maybe there has been secrets. Maybe maybe now, you know, you're out of the illusion of something, and like I said, you're seeing more clearly, and this has to deal with like the subconscious. So maybe it's just some mental stuff, you know, that I think we've all been going through some mental stuff, but you know, if you're suffering with mental health, I definitely suggest you get some help out there. There's definitely help for everyone out there, so please do that. But it's more to me that the illusion of our past life is over. You know what I mean? It's time to create a new story where there's no normal anymore. There's no going back to the old story. It's just, as I don't know if you've noticed in the world, like nothing really has been the same since 2020. Everything has shifted dramatically. And to me, this just goes to say, like, maybe we had some shattered realities, some illusions of what we thought our life was supposed to be, but now with the door opening and the energies flowing, we have everything we need inside ourselves to move forward. We don't need anything from the outside. We have all the power to create whatever that new story is, whether, you know, whether it's in relationship, career, opportunities, whatever it is that, you know, it's not very specific in this Leo reading. You know, it does have the family card, but yeah. Whoa. I'll take these. So what popped out was the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, I mean, you know, definitely prosperity is ahead. And maybe that's what it's been. And maybe it's been like the illusion of your career or your finances. And, you know, maybe we're going through a hard time with finances. And now, you know, you're getting a new sort of perspective or clarity on something that was hidden in your career. Or maybe you're getting new ideas and creative ideas on how to move forward in your career, or doing something differently in your career that can, you know, change the tides in a way. And then we have the Six of Cups, which is definitely, you know, memories, happy memories. This is a Scorpio card. Nostalgia, innocence, which is kind of your card as well. You know, when I think of Leo, I think of just the baby or the son on the, you know, on the horse, and just happy-go-lucky innocence. And I think it's just a beautiful card. And, you know, getting back to the innocence and the joy of living, right? We tend to make things super difficult, you know, and a lot of it is mindset. When we can, every day we can try and bring joy and happiness and be present in our lives and create this for ourselves. And that's what I think we're headed towards. But you know, the competition has to stop. There's good competition out, you know, in terms of out there, and a healthy competition, I should say, you know, where you're competing, but you want to see everybody succeed either way. You know, I believe in that. I believe in collaborating and having healthy competition, but not that kind of competition that is like jealous and, you know, and where you have a lot of tension and strife, basically. To me, this is just like, you know, disagreements that can be overcome pretty easily. After that, you know, we have the Three of Cups. And I'm sorry, my voice is like starting to fade, and I also have a headache. So pardon me, Leo. It's getting to that time where I need to, you know, call it a day, and I will. But next, we moved on to the Three of Cups, which is a card of celebration and collaboration, like I said, where there's healthy competition and collaboration, and everybody can celebrate each of their own uniqueness and their own wins, right? We can celebrate other people's wins and celebrate everybody's uniqueness and not be in conflict, with other people's values and opinions. I mean, we definitely have to have some shared values for sure. But if somebody has a differing opinion than yours, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you can't be friends. I think the last 5 years since 2020, what it has taught us is that, they love to keep us divided and fighting and thinking that we're separate from each other, and that the bad competition where we want to win at all costs, that's just not going to be cool anymore. That's just the old Capricorn way. And this new way is collaboration, community, and coming together. So I really love this, right? And then we head into the we have the Nine of Swords, which to me it's like, again, when we let go of this worry, the fear, the hopelessness, the trauma, the despair, and give ourselves, the rest that we need, to heal. I think we have some really good stuff here, with the Ten of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, Three of Cups, and then the Magician and the Ten of Cups. I think we're headed to something really quite beautiful. But we've all been through the ringer, and it's just a matter of letting go of this, despair and surrendering, really surrendering to this new way of being in the bardo, in a way, being in the void, not knowing like where we're going, and kind of enjoying the process, enjoying the newness of it all, being like Dora the Explorer, right, in this new life. I don't know if people know Dora the Explorer, but whatever. Being like Dora, right, and like looking at this life as like an exploration instead of just like, this life sucks and it's just, hardship and just negativity. Yeah, we have that, but that's part of life. That's just how we're here to transform, right? So I think it's beautiful. And then we have the Six of Pentacles, which again it's beautiful. It's giving and receiving and sharing and generosity and charity, which goes really well with the card that I was saying, of like being in community and coming together and having healthy competition and watching all of us succeed, and not being jealous of other people's things and celebrating each other's uniqueness. We come to a great space of, especially in relationships, personal relationships, the people that you're spending the most time, it should be reciprocal. You should want to see each other succeed and be happy for each other, with all whoever's winning. And that's life. Some people are up sometimes, some people are down sometimes, and the goal is to just be with that person and receive and give, and have it be reciprocal. And they put energy into you, you put energy into them. So beautiful. I really like this reading. What am I gonna do here? So I'm gonna pull, I'm being called to do a Wisdom of the Oracle card, and then I'll do an Akashic Record Oracle, an angel number, and call it a reading for you. What else can we tell Leo, Spirit? What other message can we tell Leo? This one wanted to pop out. Oh, shit. How interesting. So We have TikTok, you know, this week is definitely a week to use this energy wisely and step towards those new goals and, you know, community, collaborating, putting in that innocence. And maybe, you know, things are shifting, but start looking at it from like an innocent, sweet, and celebratory way, instead of thinking like, you know, oh, what I've lost or what has been lost or what has happened. And you know, use this energy to the best of your power, because right now it's just so powerful. And it's such a, I know people talk about portals all the time, but you know, there's really only a few portals that are for real. And this is definitely one of them, because this week and maybe 1 or 2 weeks in the fall are the only times that we are going to have no planets retrograde, basically. So use it in your favor. And then time to go, you know, it's time to move on from this negative, tired ass old energy, you know, that we've all been suffering through, the whole collective. You know, not really bad cards here. Overall, it's pretty amazing. It's just time to collaborate. To me, it's a lot of collaborating. And what are you going to use, you know, your gifts to collaborate with, you know, or whom are you going to use your gifts with? And, you know, you can definitely you got a couple 10s here, a couple 3, 6, 9s, a couple of 5s too. So great energy. And it's definitely time to go. It's time to leave the past in the past and move forward to the new stuff, the beautiful new stuff that, you know, is cause for celebration, and, you know, and look at it with innocent, sweet, you know, eyes. I love it. I think it's wonderful. Let me pull an Akashic Oracle card and then an angel number, and we shall call it a day, my lovely Leos. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. It rained over here in LA I think it was Saturday, and then Sunday was like on and off cloudy. That's my dog. So one last message for thank you. Stuck in lack. Huh. Interesting. So it says stuck in lack. You have all the resources you need to carry you through. Whether it's financial, emotional, physical limitations that you think you have, it is only ego-based fears taking over. Rein them in and don't give up. Yeah, don't give up. I mean, TikTok, motherfucker. I'm not calling you a motherfucker, but I'm just saying. TikTok, motherfucker, it's time to go, right? It's time to go. TikTok, it's like, this is an energy that shouldn't be wasted. So I love that for you. Now let's pull an angel number and call it a night. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday. I'm posting this kind of late, but whatever. That's life. That's life, my babies. Definitely no children should be watching this channel because I curse, so I don't care. It is what it is. So angel numbers, you got 2. Ooh, look at how interesting. 101, which says starting over. It says wisdom, transformation, resilience, growth, empowerment, new beginnings. It says happiness stems from self-expression, growth, and experiences. Yeah, a Leo needs to be self-expressed, you know, like out there being their lion and lioness self and just strutting their stuff, you know. A Leo repressed is not, it's not good for anyone. It says view failures as steps to deeper wisdom. Happiness is real, achievable, and all around you. Appreciate both the small and significant moments on your journey. Failures are opportunities for renewal. Embrace the fresh start ahead. Definitely. I mean, it's not the Fool, but still, I think the Magician, it's like, okay, what can you, it's numero uno, right? What can you start to do? So 101, and then you have 1011. So, and it says take action, what I've been saying. This is a great week to take some action. It says hope, new beginnings, fresh start, intentional living, purpose, and spiritual growth. This is your call to move forward. The sooner you take the first step, the sooner you'll achieve your goals. Embrace patience and your perseverance will be rewarded. Seize this moment to begin anew, aligning your actions with your true purpose and creating the life you envision. Beautiful, Leo. I think it's just, you have an overall good energy. I just think, you know, a lot of us have been, a lot of Leos, or the collective, I should say, of Leos have been stuck in like, maybe some nostalgia, some things of the past, and regret, anxiety, worry about the past, you know, and maybe feeling a little hopeless. I don't feel that vibe that so much, but sorry, I have dogs in the neighborhood, so yeah, and I just think it's time to take action, and it's time to start the new story. For sure. I think it's a beautiful reading, and you have good energies all around. You know, it's just use this week to start whatever that new journey is. All right, Leos, I love you so much. Have a wonderful week.